Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Yang puja bunyi itu yang
Can you do this Mangalacharan, please? He's here. Yeah, he's coming. Yeah, he's coming. He's on the way. So you just do the japa and things like that. Yeah, we'll follow you. Om Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Chaitanya Manobisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadamika Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guram Vaishnavam Jam Sri Rupa Sadvaitam Sarvadam Krishna Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahanam Sri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikananda Radhakananda Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gauri Radhe Vrindavameshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhishya Kripasinduevacha Putitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nami Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Bol Hare Krishna Amuka Prabhu Hare Bol
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, we'll do the japa now.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah. Okay. One round of japa. Mompi, সবাইকে japa piece করে দাও। What as you can see down there, right? जी आप बैठे ना, ठीक है, श्योर। देवी प्रॉब्लम होगा तो उठ के बैठना देवी, ठीक है। जी उठ के बैठे आराम से, ऊपर उठ के बैठे। कृष्णा श्योर। People want to someone need to do the no, you know the Namong Vishnu Pada. Oh, no. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Binda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Ram Krishna, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jai Shri Krishna Rama, Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Finish 808.
Yes, I did 808.
ऐसा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
Just album में partially. Next is Pranabhani prayers.
Yeah.
Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtadhara Sata Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Jaya Pada Paramhamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtadhara Sata Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Anantakati Vaishnava Brinda Ki
Jai.
Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय।
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपा गोपीनाथ श्यामकुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय।
वृंदावन धाम की
जय।
नवद्वीप धाम की
जय।
गंगा माई की
जय।
यमुना माई की
जय।
तुलसी देवी की
जय।
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय।
समवेत वृंद की
जय।
all the assembled devotees
Hare Krishna.
the assembled devotees
Hare Krishna.
all glories to the assembled devotees
Hare Krishna. Everyone, like Nish Prabhu is on the way. He's running little late, so we'll do a little bit of kirtan since he comes. Then we'll start. Bipin Prabhu will lead, and we'll do the kirtan. Yeah.
Let's start with the profile for now.
Yeah.
Namo
Jaya Sri Jai. My Prabhu, 4 years. Yeah. It looks like.
Very nice to see you. Yeah. So firstly, my apologies. It was crazy on the streets today. So my sincere apologies for being late. Yeah. Come. Of course, yeah. From it. Oh, from it. I don't think I've ever seen him like live.
No, you just did like you just did on the camera.
Drone. Wow. Yeah, it's so many have grown. I mean, Drone, Arjo. I know him, and he's your boy, and you're the sister. Wow, you've grown a lot. Yeah. But okay, I'm not good. I'm brilliant with faces. I never forget. And I remember you got a boy as well.
Yes.
Is your boy's here tonight? Yeah.
The little one.
Little one. Oh, okay. Huh?
I was pregnant with
Yes. Okay. Wow. Wonderful. So I'm not good with names, but I'm good with faces. So some of you are gonna have to remind me. And obviously, we can be hyper right now. Obviously, Devashish, Joy Prabhu, Mampi, Hemlata Sandhya Mataji, I know, Priti Mataji, and Millie, and Millie's husband, art teacher. Yeah, she does art, artist.
2 days back we met
Gautam. And I know that you are Rita Mataji, if you can provide for his wife. Gorangi Mataji, Hare Krishna. And then I know you are husband-wife. And Havish?
Yeah.
Havish. Mataji, your name?
Devi.
Devi, that's it. Devi. And then
Nice to see you.
yeah, what's your name? Darshana. You're from South India, right?
No, from Gujarat.
Oh, Gujarat. Oh, you're Gujarati. Okay. You're Nepalese. Yeah. You've been on the Sangha for a while now, isn't it?
Yes.
Online, yeah, I've seen you. And then Prabhu, I don't know. Yeah. Prolai. Okay. Nice.
He's
Nice to
Bengali
meet
as well.
Okay, excellent.
I'm also 1% Bengali. 1%. No, I did an ethnicity test. And I'm 1%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
Very
what's your name? No, Promik.
Promise.
Promik. And you?
Remember Tid?
I know him. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tid.
he used to be
And the sister's name?
Harshi.
That's it. Tid.
Where's
She's all
Harshi?
coming back now.
Please, Harshi.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, amazing. So good to be here. It's been ages since I've been in the Sangha.
7 years.
True, and
No.
I was well, and some people are there. So.
Jay, yeah. they're seeing a very awkward angle here. Yeah. Actually, maybe we can put it like oops.
Yeah.
Wow. Millions of people.
We have sound for us, not millions.
Millions are watching them.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. No, it's good actually. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So so nice, and of course, I want to say a big Haribol to Devashish Prabhu and Mampi Mataji. Haribol.
former Prabhu, Bipin Prabhu, all this like
I know.
devotees, they came all the way from far away.
No.
We're so happy to have you here. Prabhu, you came very early of our Sangha.
Yeah.
You came from Canada that time?
No,
Oh,
I'm from Iran, but
Yeah.
I've always lived in UK.
Yeah, Prabhu, when he started, you bring Prabhu with.
Maybe it was somebody else.
No, I should bring him.
Yeah,
He
used to
came
come.
quite a few times. Yeah.
Few times he
Yeah,
came,
yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Very early, but
Yeah.
after that is a long.
And
gap.
if you remember, Umar used to come and he used to look after the kids
Yeah,
in the other room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember Arjun when he used to? Yeah.
I used to feed them.
drawing classes.
Yeah, in the bedroom.
Military was in Middle East for a while. Umar Prabhu is originally from Arab.
From Saudi.
You went to Dubai, right?
We was in Bahrain.
Oh, Bahrain. Yeah, I knew that from before.
Yeah.
You're training to be ISIS. No, why were you in Bahrain?
It was really good experience we had.
Oh, thank you.
And there's a Hare Krishna temple as well.
Yeah. Is it
Oh.
like so?
Yes.
Oh, in Bahrain. Is it like undercover or in the open?
No, it's open.
Wow.
Not like
Really?
where. Yes.
Yeah.
No, they
And they
don't
have the
mind
Durga
that if
Puja
it's
also in downstairs.
they
They're
won't,
allowing Durga Puja over there.
Oh, so they don't persecute as a Hare
no,
Krishna.
they won't mind it if it's already your traditional religion. But if you preach to a local Arab, they convert, then they'll have a big issue
Oh, I
with that.
see. But no,
Not as much preaching, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Bahrain is very open. There is a mosque temple and that Swaminarayan temple and a church all in the same place.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You can stand in the
Yeah.
balcony, you can see all three.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's a good
that's
place.
wow.
We should-
Nice. And this
They're
is
coming for Durga Puja
yeah.
to all the Arab people actually, that king family, they're coming to open the Durga Puja as well.
wow. That's
Ribbon,
yeah. I mean, even in this room, you can see there's quite a variety of backgrounds.
Yes,
Like
yes.
we have obviously Iranian, we have Mauritian, Bengali, Pakistani, Bengali, Gujarati, Bengali, and obviously mixture of Bengali, Gujarati there, and then Bengali, Mauritian, Gujarati, Bengali, Nepalese, and Delhi. There you go.
Delhi is all.
Oh my God, there's like 10 people on the thing as well here. Wow, amazing.
Hare
Amazing.
Krishna, Niskincana Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah,
Oh,
so
Hare
nice
Krishna,
to-
Sanchita. So nice to
Hare
hear you.
Krishna. Yeah, and Hare
Hey.
Krishna to all the devotees, assembled devotees. You're missing it, but we'll
Oh,
be online listening to the Katha. Haribol.
well, we're not actually doing much katha, we're just chit-chatting at the moment. Sorry about
No, I mean, yeah, whenever you start, yeah, it's like
that. It's
we
been so long
can
since
see-
I came, I feel like with you all. Instead of actually doing a katha, actually.
yeah,
But,
we can feel the vibes there
um,
online.
Huh?
I said we can feel the vibes there, like a very lively session, and as you mentioned, very diverse as
Warm
well.
vibes. That's it. That's it.
Oh, Anil Prabhu, Amoga Prabhu.
Oh, Amoga Prabhu is there as well,
Yeah.
Jay. Amoga Prabhu.
We got
Oh, Hare Krishna, Amoga Prabhu. Nice to see you, Prabhu.
Nice to
I
see
saw Prabhu recently this year when Prabhuji came to the manor for the 50th anniversary
Yes.
of the Srila Prabhupada, the anniversary of the manor. And I know that because Amoga Prabhu's Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj came.
Okay.
And then I saw Amoga Prabhu there. It was very nice seeing you there, Prabhu. So, I'm sure Amoga Prabhu is also a very sincere devotee, very dedicated, very committed, and of man of a high discipline. Not surprising, since he's a disciple of Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, who himself very much is promoting very strong principles by which to live by.
I also want to add something too, because of Amoga Prabhu, the Sangha is running so smoothly now. He's unbelievable. I don't know how he does it every single day without any miss. 5 o'clock evening, every day dedicated. Unbelievable service. So
Yeah.
Sometimes I get shocked like how he does it, but because of him, the Sangha is running.
Well, this is amazing. I mean, there's like 10 people here, and there's so many people here. And I know that this Sangha, it does so much. The different devotees in the Sangha often do different services. There's Krishna Club going on. Once a month, this Sangha, they go up to the manor to do gardening seva.
Yeah.
And then they also do fundraising for like different ISKCON projects. It is absolutely fantastic. My God, how this Sangha has gone from strength to strength. It really is wondrous, I have to say. So anyway, on that note, I think, shall we start with a bit of Jai Radha Madhav?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. For those of you who don't know the prayers, just try to follow if you can. And for those of you, I'm sure some of you do know the prayers, then you can follow, right? I'm sure, you know, yeah. Is it okay if I lead, by the way?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it okay? Yeah. Do you want to play the kartam? Yeah. Yeah. Jaya Radha Madhava.
I'm a very spiritual person. So
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnanatirmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhu bhevcha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So thank you, that was amazing. Yeah, really good participation as well there. The atmosphere today is really good, actually. Yeah, it's so good being here, like I said. Just so you know, so those who don't know me, I think most of you do actually, but just to remind you, so my name is Niskincana. I used to live in the ashram, in the manor, and then I left the ashram in 2020, but I'm one of the managers at the manor now. I oversee a department called School of Bhakti, which deals with the courses, events, retreats. It's basically the educational department for the manor. So yeah, that keeps my life busy. We develop, yeah, like I said, courses, seminars, Sangha groups, retreats. We just had an amazing retreat actually. Just came back from the Himalayas.
Yeah, I saw the pictures, were amazing.
Oh yeah, it's really good. I mean, we went to like Kurukshetra, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gupt Kashi, Rudraprayag, Vyas Gufa, Ganesh Gufa, Vyas Gufa, where Ganesh, Veda Vyas compiled the Vedas and then the Bhagavatam. Ganesh Gufa, where Ganesh wrote the Mahabharata, listening to Vyasadev. All in the mountain Himalayas area near the Shivalik range, right? Which is near
China border.
Correct. Actually, interesting you say that. One of the places we went was called Mana Village. Yeah, and Mana Village is actually, Modi actually classified it as the first village of India.
Yes.
So it's the village nearest to the border with Tibet. Although saying that, even the distance between Mana and the Tibetan border, it's still 60 kilometers, but it's 60 kilometers of wilderness. I think the delivery kept it like that as a buffer because you know this because of the political tensions. But anyway, yeah, so we went to all these amazing places. You're from Badrinath?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, we went to your place. Yeah, we went to Pandukeshwar. You know, where Pandu did the sin of killing and then, you know, then invoked with Kunti Devi, invoked the Pandavas, you know, to come through the demigods. You know, there's a mountain called Pandu Chowk behind the Pandukeshwar temple. Yeah, we went to Joshimath. You know, Shankaracharya established his mat in the north.
And there is a Narsimha temple as well in Joshimath. Did you go there?
We went there. Yeah. We went there. I mean, so Taptakund, we went to Taptakund as well. Yeah. The hot spring.
Yeah, hot spring.
Boiling hot. Really hot. I mean, my God. And like the weather is so cold and you go in, it takes like a good 20-30 minutes just to get into the spring, just to get your body acclimatized to it. And once you're in it, like literally, like you feel like you're basically a dumpling boiling in like hot water, you know? And then you come out and it's like snow again, you know? It's like, yeah, it's like next level, you know? So.
But lots of skin diseases are cured there.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a very sacred place.
So many people have said this.
Yeah.
I think there is lots of sulfur in that water which takes away the
Like eczema and stuff.
eczema.
Yeah.
Yes, eczema. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful place. So we went there. Yeah, such a good place. I mean, maybe in the future, I would welcome as many of you as you can join us for our School of Bhakti retreats. We have one in March to Vrindavan and Jaipur with special, guest speaker with us who's going to be with us for the retreat. You know, Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Swami? Yeah, so he's going to be coming with us.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you can come, please do. I appreciate some of you
it's cool.
because of term time. But we have retreats as well during holidays in different places, not just in India, in Europe and in England. Please do come. It'd be nice to see you guys come, actually. Anyhow, so that's just basically my main kind of like service that I do. Let me also introduce you. Just remind everyone. So this is obviously Achyuta Sai Araf Mir Mashomi Prabhu. So he's originally from Iran, and then he kind of like came here as a student, and you know, he did his degree in like geography, right? Environmental science, first class. And he also practices Krishna consciousness. And currently, he's the manager of our Goshala at the manor. So again, very important responsibility. Like we know how important the Goshala cow farm is to the manor. So he's the boss.
Key person.
Yeah, key person.
Anything in the book.
We was under
Yes.
last summer.
They had a team of
All
22 hours a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Prabhuji served us with so much prasadam.
Oh yeah.
No, we had like a time limit and we had this kind of big thing coming up. And they were there some days, 12 till Mangalarti time, they were in the Goshala.
Yeah.
And painting and building the new ox cart.
Yeah.
So the new ox cart you see is thanks to
Wow.
team.
Yeah, I mean, Millie is an artist, isn't she?
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's beautiful. The cart now is so artistic.
That's
I could never
amazing.
do it.
So we have Achyuta Said Araf Mir Mashomi Prabhu, Goshala manager, and also we have here Farhan Umar Ansari Prabhu, who I'm sure a lot of the kids will know. He's so we all know each other because we all basically came from the ashram. But we're all kind of taking responsibility in Krishna consciousness in different ways after coming out of the ashram. Umar is actually a school teacher, and he's a teacher at our Krishnavanti school. So yeah, how many years have you been there now?
15 years. No, sorry. Sorry. How many years? 2019. So
2019. Okay.
yeah,
About 4 years
years.
now. 4 years. Okay.
What is the subject?
my subject is comedy. No, I'm actually a supply teacher, but I teach like maths and PRE when I.
That is really comedy for me.
Yeah. But I just entertain the kids. That's my main. Role.
Umar, when you get to know him, you know he's got a very dry sense of humor. So
He's just
Yeah.
loving.
That's really.
No, he didn't remember.
yeah, he was joking. Yeah, when he used to look at the kids, Drona was the one correcting him.
Yeah, no, he used to. Yeah, great. Very good.
But Drona is like a bit of a clever club.
Not drawn art.
I'm sorry. I was just sorry. Sorry, join us. Yeah. Arjo.
They're both clever.
Sorry, Arjo. I know you, Arjo. Of course I know. How can I not know you? I see you guys every week.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, there you go. There we have it. And obviously, we have obviously some scholars with us here. We've got Vipin Bihari Prabhu, as you know. He's like, I think, one of the gurus of this group, long-term devotee, long-term scholar. And of course, we've got Amoga Prabhu as well, who's also very scholarly. I really like how Amoga Prabhu also puts all these Prabhupada quotes. I know I'm not so active on the group, but I do actually check it from, to see what's going on and stuff. So nice. Okay, so I think I know in the past, we've had structured sessions. I thought today, because it's been quite a while since we've come to this Sangha, I thought of just keeping it very easy and just keeping it quite free-flowing and freestyle kind of session. And just maybe have more of a discussion than just me like giving a lecture, like a katha. So I understand from what Joy Prabhu has told me that you guys have completed a run of the Bhagavad-Gita.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah, I thought maybe now's a good time for us to share some reflections or questions that may come about from, from what we've been experiencing in these sessions. Some of you I know have been coming regularly, some of you may be coming now and again, but whatever it is, maybe we can start with some reflections and stuff. I know Umer and Achyuta probably really dying to actually share their realizations. But before we do that, maybe we can hand over to you to see if there's anyone in the group that wants to start off. Oh, Mumpy's also one of our undercover scholars of this group. She's quite, but she's a very well-read lady, I have to say. Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Do you want to start off with a comment, query, question about something to trigger off a discussion, like maybe related to the Bhagavad Gita or something? Yeah.
Okay, well, we had our mentorship session yesterday, and one of the discussions that we were having there was Bhagavad Gita 7.3, where Krishna says that out of millions and millions of human beings, only one or two, they take Siddhi, and out of them, only one knows Krishna factually or Tadvata.
Yeah, Manushanam
Yes,
Saheshu Gatsitet
yes.
Sintaya. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the verse. Can you please provide a little bit, put some light on it?
Okay. Okay, so the verse is chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute, and the verse text 3 is saying, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Okay, so before I share anything, maybe Farhan, do you want to start by sharing something on this?
Yeah, I'm going to pass it on to Achyuta. Or should I say something?
Yeah, no, just share.
I need some time to think about it. That particular verse.
Yeah.
Out of many millions, what is it? Millions of people.
Yes, famous verse, very famous.
One is serious or something.
I will share
Okay,
after you, don't worry.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the gist of it is that what I get from this verse, Mataji's gone.
She's hearing.
She's gone to Godhead. So out of all of us, how many people in this room? I don't know, like 20? Only Mumpy Mataji will go back to Godhead. I mean, that's how rare and difficult it is. We're just saying that you are the one to leave us to go to Krishna. So it's a very rare thing for someone to even find Krishna consciousness. And then within Krishna consciousness, within this movement, we think, oh, we're safe. But then as we practice and as we chant and do devotional service, I'm even realizing in the fire of bhakti, things start to come out and you start to see the impurities like in even more. So then you think, oh my God, I thought I've gone back to Godhead, but I've got a long way to go. So if you practice sincerely, even then, this lifetime might not be enough. You might have to go another lifetime, take birth as a Chinese person, get COVID again, and then like maybe an alligator, maybe go down, maybe go up. So like it depends on us. Like the responsibility is on us. It's all about responsibility. And it's not like, like some Christians and Muslims say, oh, I'm Muslim, therefore I go to heaven, or Jesus saved us from our sins. We really have to take responsibility and practice every day. And if we don't, then we won't go back to Godhead, basically, whatever that means. So it's a very rare thing, even within the Hare Krishna movement, to become a pure devotee. So we can't take it too cheaply. But I mean, that's what I get from the verse. And also that, to practice sincerely. There's a verse, chapter 10, verse 10, which is very nice. Desam satata yuktanam bhajatam. You know this one, right? Arjuna. Bhajatam pritipurvakam. One who sincerely practices with love and devotion, all knowledge comes to that person. So sometimes it's not enough just to read and to become a scholar, but actually to sincerely practice and from the heart, chant from the heart. Otherwise, there are 10 offenses when you chant the holy name, and if we chant with those offenses, then it's worse than not chanting. So we have to practice sincerely. That's a very key thing, and then we can perfect ourselves. But we don't tell newcomers this because nobody would join them. But you already know all this stuff. I just wanted to repeat it for myself. Thank you.
I think with the love and devotion,
yeah, with love and devotion,
that's most important. If you have the sincere love and devotion, Krishna will see you in the world.
Exactly.
And Krishna will reciprocate accordingly.
Yeah, exactly.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Can I just expand on this a bit, and then we can, thank you, by the way, Farhan. That was really nice, actually. In terms of perfection, so you see, the word perfection is you could say is an umbrella term that has different gradations to it. So, and actually Prabhupada does talk about it in the purport here, because he talks about yogis and gyanis and impersonalists. So we have to understand that when you're embarking on the path of spirituality, depending on what your motivation is, you'll have a different goal of what perfection would be. So for a lot of people, like Siddhi means perfection. Now, if you're like, let's say, practicing, there are different types of yoga. So for example, there is what is called Ashtanga yoga, which is the yoga of the 8 limbs, which is what they used to practice in the olden days. And the idea is that they're going to attain, like mystic perfections, like, for example, mastering the mind, mastering other people's minds, becoming smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, different kind of mystical powers and stuff. And there are a lot of yogis that are doing tapasya, doing like austerities for that goal. But we understand that is still a very inferior spiritual goal to actually have. Then there are those who try to understand, as the verse says, they try to understand the supreme truth by knowledge, like Jnana Yoga, right? Through understanding the different scriptures, understanding the different laws and the theories that go behind it. But even that is actually not actually what Krishna is looking for. If you try to understand even Krishna consciousness just through your brain power, it's actually you're missing the point. Actually, Krishna consciousness is very much an affair of the heart. That's not to say you don't use your brain, right? You do, and you should, but it's not just an intellectual exercise, right? It's not like learning a science where you learn it, or mathematics where you learn it and then that's it. You've mastered it. You can't really master Krishna. Krishna is a person. The only way in which you can actually connect with Krishna is actually by him giving his mercy to you, right? We are like Kripa Siddhi, the perfection of mercy, getting the mercy from Krishna. So there's Jnana Yoga, there's Ashtanga Yoga, there's Karma Yoga,
where you try to work for Krishna. You do your duty, as Krishna even says to Arjun, Yat karoshi dasnasi, yajahosi dadasiyat, yat tapasyasi konteya, tat kurusamadatman. Whatever you do, right, do it for me. So you can do your work and then offer the results to Krishna, as offer the fruits of your labor to Krishna, which is great. Don't get me wrong. If you use your gyan for Krishna, that's great. If you use your karma for Krishna, that's great. There are also people who follow the path of Mayavad path, the path of impersonalism, where they not necessarily trying to attain Krishna himself, but trying to get his energy. They're trying to merge with his energy. There are actually different levels of perfection. There are even different, like, have you guys heard of the term moksha? Like we say that the goal of spirituality is moksha, but even in moksha, there are different levels of moksha. So for example, there's Sayujya Mukti, which is where you merge into the energy, the effulgence of Krishna, right? His effulgence is known as the Brahman, right? It's a state of Shanti. It's a state where you're not experiencing happiness or distress. It's a state where you're completely calm and peaceful, right? And it's a beautiful position to be in. You realize that you're an eternal being, that you're not affected by birth and death anymore. You have risen above the cycle of birth and death. But it's not enough. It's not enough. Because Rupa Goswami said, the soul's function is to give love and be loved. So if we're not experiencing love, relationship, the soul will naturally not be satisfied, right? So therefore, even those who attain the Sayujya Mukti, the Brahman realization, they merge into the Brahman energy of Krishna, those souls will eventually get dissatisfied. So yes, it is perfection. Yes, they have crossed over the cycle of birth and death, but it's not going to give full perfection. There are even those that may do severe austerities, like in previous ages, in the meditation and stuff, and attain perfection of Krishna as the Paramatma, as the super soul residing within all of us. Like we have our own soul within this body, and there's Krishna also next to us. And they actually learn to identify Krishna as a super soul next to us. Param Atma. We are Atma. Param means the super soul. But even in that stage, yes, you will again realize the eternality of your ultimate identity as a soul. You will even have understood your quality as an all-knowing personality, because in the human life, we're always trying to know more and more. We want to know everything, but the body limits us, the brain limits us, it traps us. As you get older, the brain's function, the body's function starts to go down, right? But the soul actually is all-knowing. So you realize that, but it's not enough. You need to go even higher than that. So there are also, there's liberations, like for example, Sayujya Mukti. You've got Sarshti. Sarshti form of liberation is where you attain spiritual perfection, where you go to the spiritual and you have the same level of opulence as Krishna does, right? The same beauty, the same glories as Krishna does. But even that's not enough. There's also Salokya Mukti, which is Lokya. Loka means place, where you're actually attaining the same destination, residence as Krishna. Like, let's say if my aim is to basically, become a citizen of this country, so I can be a resident of the same country as King Charles, then you've attained Salokya with King Charles, right? But that's not enough either, right? There's also, where is it? Sarshti, Sayujya, Salokya, Sayujya, Sharupa, where you attain the same form as Krishna, right? The same features as Krishna. But none of them are actually what's going to really give the soul full perfectional bliss. So here, when it talks about so many people who practice spirituality over so many gazillions and gazillions of generations of mankind, they may have attained different levels of perfection if they're lucky, of course. But as Krishna says here, But of those who achieve these different levels of perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Because if I look to all those liberations, right? Okay, you can merge into the energy of Krishna. You can attain the same residence of Krishna. You can have the same features as Krishna. You can have the same opulences as Krishna. But in none of those liberations are you actually getting to know Krishna in a personal, loving relationship. And that is what the soul craves. And that is what bhakti is about. So there's actually, not even just become an associate of Krishna, sammitya mukti, but actual bhakti liberation, prema bhakti with Krishna. Prem means love. So attaining love and devotion, having a personal relationship with Krishna, that is the key. And only those who attain that will actually know, who is this Krishna? Who is this Krishna? What is this, this person called Krishna? What makes him tick? What makes him buzz? And what makes him laugh? What makes him cry? What makes him have a good time? How can I have fun with this person? Not that, like, let's say if you're a fan of King Charles, you could have the same opulence as him. You can look like him, but it's not the same as actually being in a relationship with King Charles. I'm not saying anyone wants to be King Charles or wants to be like him, but you get the idea, right? But, when you love someone, you want to not just like, look like them. You want to actually have a relationship with them, isn't it? You want to know who they are. You want to have like emotional moments with them. You want to have your arguments with them and your laughs with them and your loving interactions. Just like in the Vishnu Puran, it says, Yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cho yuvato yatha mano bhiramate tadvam mano me ramatam twayi, which means that just as the mind of a boy gets attracted to the girl and the mind of a girl gets attracted to a boy. I know some of you are very young for this, so don't worry about it. But, similarly, may my mind be attracted to you. So that's actually the real perfection. That's the highest perfection. That's the highest of all siddhis. These yogic practitioners that do their tapasyas where they stand on one leg and, all that stuff and then starve themselves, that level of perfection where they gain some great power is very inferior. That's not what we're about. That's not what the Vedas are about. The Vedas are about knowing Krishna as a person and having a loving relationship with him, just like a husband and a wife have a loving relationship, ideally, have a loving relationship, or mother and a child have a loving, that level of rasa cannot be replaced, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like someone's to say to you, I'm going to give you a massive golden palace to live in, but you have to forego your relationship. Let's say, Darshana, you've got two lovely boys. Imagine I give you the offer, okay, I'm going to give you a massive mansion. You can't see your two boys ever again. You're going to be like, I don't think so, right? Obviously, yeah? Because that relationship is more important than the opulence. So that is what is about what Krishna is saying here.
So, Prabhu, these five kinds of liberation.
That's what I said. Sorry, I'll say. Krishna actually even later says, "Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashchashmi tatvatamaha." Right? Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only those who are bhaktas, they can actually get to know me. Yeah. Sorry,
so these five kinds of liberations. So, are they applicable in Vaikuntha Loka or Golok Vrindavana?
Okay, so Sayuja Mukti.
Yes.
Is not for those of you who don't know what we're talking about here. I would say just go with the flow and maybe you'll pick something up as well, because it's very, Mataji is asking a very deep question here. But Sayuja Mukti is not applicable in Vaikuntha. That's Brahman in personal liberation, right? So that's in the Brahma Jyoti, the Krishna's energy. Sharshti, Shalokya, Sarupya, they are applicable in Vaikuntha. Yeah, Vaikuntha planets. Samipya, which is the liberation of being an associate of Krishna, is applicable in the Vaikuntha planets as well as in Golok Vrindavan. But even within Samipya, we want to have a Samipya means the liberation where you're an associate of Krishna. It has to be in love, which is in bhakti. So relationship of service and love with Krishna. So when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and when we learn about Krishna through the books, like Bhagavad-gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, when we associate with devotees, high-level devotees, then gradually, step by step, we get to understand more about Krishna and develop that loving relationship with him.
So can I say something?
Yeah.
From this verse, what I get is like we are a very tiny part of Krishna. We are soul. And Krishna is Satchitananda. So we are always hankering for that missing love. Right? We look for love.
Yeah.
That's our nature.
100%.
We are always looking for love. So all we want to do is go back to Krishna and have a like, you know, where we came from, or where we are missing now, what we're missing, and only way we can go there is by devotional and loving service to Krishna.
That's right. And that's a really good point, actually, that Devashish Joy Prabhu said there, because you know, Prabhupada, for those of you, is everyone here familiar with Srila Prabhupada? Yeah, he's the one that, you know, gave us these. Thank you for that, Farhan. For the Krishna conscious books. And you know, he mentions a lot in his books. Have you guys ever heard of the term back home, back to Godhead? Prabhupada says that a lot. So let's analyze that. Back to Godhead. So Prabhupada is saying that going back to Krishna is actually going back home. This material world we're in is an artificial imposition on us. It's not actually home. It's like if you take a fish out of water and just put it on the ground here, will the fish feel at home just wriggling around on the ground? No. Why not? Tirth, would you like to answer? If you put the fish on a carpet here and it starts wriggling around, would the fish be happy?
No.
Why not?
It's not where it's like most comfortable.
It's not comfortable in it. It's because it's not its home. So similarly, us as Atmas, our souls, we are in these yantras, these artificial bodies. These bodies are not actually who we are. That's why we don't say I hand, we say my hand. I've got this hand for now. But when this body dies, all our bodies will eventually die, then the body goes. So this is not actually our home. And this whole material world is not our home, right? It's Maya. Maya means that which is not. This is an artificial reality that we're in right now.
Matrix.
Yeah. Well, if you want to put it like that, yeah. So with an artificial reality, so only when we actually release ourselves from the cycle of this birth and death and actually connect back with Krishna, can we be reinstated in our original form in the spiritual world with Krishna. So back home, back to Godhead. So God means Krishna. Now, head. Everyone's heard of the word God before, right? Everyone knows that, God, right? But Prabhupada specifically uses the term Godhead. Does anyone like to broach why would Prabhupada, why does the Prabhupada say go back to God? Why back to Godhead? Any thoughts?
Supreme God.
Very good, Pralay, right?
Yeah.
That's actually, excellent. You see, sometimes people in spirituality, they also, what they do is they try to uniformize God. Energy, yes, God is energy. I am God. You are God. We're all God. You know, Mahadev is God. Shiva is God. Ganesh is God. Krishna is God. Brahma is God. Everyone is God, right? But no, actually what the Gita says and what the scriptures actually say, and I'm not saying this because we're Hare Krishnas, I'm saying because the Vedic scriptures say this. No, there is one God. This God has his expansions, his like his next level of expansion that he's produced. There are demigods, like like devas. Demi means they're not God, they're like lieutenants, right? So in the cosmos, you have Brahma, Indra, Vayu, Pavan is Vayu actually, but like Varun, you get the idea, Agni. Anyway, these are like, they're not God. So therefore saying Godhead is showing who is the supreme. Brahma himself even says, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachitananda Vigraha, Anadiradi Govinda, Sarvakarana Karanam. Right? Ishvara Parama Krishna. That the Param Ishwar, the supreme controller, is Krishna. Right? Anadiradi Govinda. He is the big Govinda is the beginning of the end. Sarvakarana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. So we're trying to get to, but what Krishna wants is our love. As Farhan Ansari very nicely put in the beginning, that verse from chapter 10, verse 10. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamapayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I'll give them the understanding of which they can come to me. So all what Krishna is looking for is our what? Our love. He wants our love. So that's not just love. Is not just like, okay, I love Krishna, I'm going back to him. You have to show it through actions, you know. Like just like, you know, you love your child, so you do everything for them. You love your husband, or a husband, you know, love your wife. You do everything for them. Love is an action. It's not a noun. It's a verb. Well, it's a noun and a verb, right? So you have to show. So therefore, we use this life, this human life, to develop that love for Krishna, with the aim that once this life finishes, we go back to him, we break the cycle of birth and death and go back to him. Because for the love of God, you do not want to stay on this earth any longer than you need to, right? I mean, just look at the world around you, right? Look at the sociological consequences of what's happening in the world right now. Look at the geopolitical issues that are rising. Look at the killings, the domestic disturbances, the anxiety, the depression, the mental issues, the well-being issues, the disorders, right? It's going crazy. And you do know that we are in Kali Yuga. And as Krishna says in the Bhagavadgita, this place, this material world, is Mrityu Samsara Vartani. It is a place of death. Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. Obstacles at every step, right? It's a place of Janma Mittu Jara Vyadi, Dukha Doshanu Darshanam, right? It's a place of birth, death, old age, disease. It's a place of dukkha. We are not pessimists. You live your life, but keep Krishna in the center, because you have to know the reality of this life, of what it is. And this, I'm saying this not just for the grown-ups, even for the young ones. You get prepared for the life. Anyway, I thought, yeah. So, Araf, do you want to share anything? Actually, maybe do you want to share something also about the cows? Because in relation to, for example, we're talking about Dukkha Darshana Darshanam. And actually, Prabhupada said, you're all aware that there's wars going on right now, yeah? Yeah, good. So, Prabhupada said an interesting quote, actually, that there's a direct correlation between when there's wars going on in the world and animal killing. Prabhupada said that in Kali Yuga, we're living in what is called a slaughterhouse civilization, right? So, I mean, Araf Prabhu, he's very passionate actually about animal protection, and especially his main focus is actually protecting the cows of this earth, because cows are very dear to Krishna, right? We know that. Cows are very dear, Govinda, right? And so maybe, I don't know if Achyuta, you're going to share a couple of words on like, the value of actually not indulging in certain habits and actually making sure that we actually take this seriously.
I can tell you about what happens to the cows in the industry and how it differs to how we look after the cows in Goshala.
Yeah, please do.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then after that, we can go to Hemlat the Sundreal. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
No. As in, you say your
Yeah.
because I know that Sundreal Mataji wanted to actually share something afterwards.
Yeah. No, it is true. So Prabhupada did say about how the reason there are so many wars in the world is because on Earth we are killing so many animals, not just cows, but so many animals throughout because of our diet. So So every year there are 80 billion land animals that are slaughtered every single year. So that includes like, you know, chicken and cows and goats and things like that. Doesn't include fish because they don't measure them in numbers. Otherwise, it'd be in trillions. They'll measure them in weight. So how many kilos of fish are killed and stuff.
Just so you know, I'll
Yes.
just interject here. As far as the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, you don't know that it's not just humans that have got souls, atmas. Animals do. Anything that's living, including plants and stuff, have got souls. So when you kill an animal, you're actually disrupting a soul on its progressive journey, going through the species.
Yeah.
So there is sin attached to it. So, you know, one of the things, and I think we'll touch on this, is that, you know, that you've done the Bhagavad Gita, but now you also have to look at, okay, it's one thing I'm coming to the Sangha every week or every month or something, but what can I take away from the Bhagavad Gita? What are the practical steps that I can apply in my life to make my life more spiritual? I'm not saying that we have to immediately jump to the highest perfection that Mampi is talking about, where, okay, immediate pure prema bhakti, because that's a lifelong process, but we have to start somewhere. Or if we're already on the path, what we can do now to intensify our Krishna conscious practice. So with that in mind, like this practical measures, like for example, changing the diet and all these things will help. Sorry, Araf, over to you.
Yeah. No, diet is very important.
Yeah, so
What we
fish
eat and-
have got souls as well. Please
Yeah.
understand that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And super soul as well?
Yes.
Everything. Yeah.
Krishna himself says that when his soul is in the material world, he enters into every single one of their bodies to basically try to guide them in every single animal and every single body.
Bro, can I say something? Is Krishna is not only on the animals or life? Isn't it Krishna everywhere, even in the atoms? And the
Krishna
matter?
specifically says, "I'm in every atom."
Atoms.
Yes.
So even in the
Sri Upanishad.
material as well, everywhere is Krishna. So you have to love everything around you.
Atma as well is in a rock. The Atma.
The super soul.
Just the super soul.
Yeah, it's not that inanimate matter may not necessarily have souls, like individual souls, but Krishna himself can enter into everything.
Right.
Yeah, like this may not have soul. It's not a living thing.
It may have it though.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But Krishna himself will enter into them to to direct the atoms that are in there.
And I feel this word that works in such a way. So say probably this iPad, they've got some sort of super soul or soul. Super soul, not soul, super soul. So that you have to love it, you have to take care of it, and that the same way it will reciprocate. If you don't care about it, it will not reciprocate. It will go bad.
And that's a really good point here. I'll just getting back to Saeed, but before that, just what Joy probably said there. There's actually a famous verse in the Nectar of Devotion which says, "Anasakta sa visayan yatarham upayunjita nirmanda Krishna sambandha yukta vairagamuchita." Yukta vairagya, that means those who have possessions, I paraphrase, but those who have possessions, let them utilize them in Krishna service. Being Krishna conscious doesn't mean that you have to become a sannyasi. Everyone knows what a sannyasi is, right? Like Vairagya. Some will become, like, we have in a manner Keshav Swami, and like now, we have Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj, he's come to the manor, the African sannyasis there. And, Antarang, yeah, he's a brahmachari, he's not sannyasi, but yeah, so there's the renunciate kind of life. But, most 99% of devotees are not renunciates, they're grihastas, meaning they're family people, householders. So does that mean that you cannot be a bhakta? You can, but you utilize what you have for Krishna service and then make it sacred. And that way you're utilizing what you've got in the right way. Yeah. Anyway, it's a really good point. Sorry, back to you, Araf.
So if you guys are interested, I'll tell you how we look after the cows at the Goshala. Okay, very quickly. And then I'll tell you how it differs to the outside, to the industry. So when a calf is born at the manor, so all our we have 63 cattle. Half are roughly male and half are female, so cows and oxen or bulls. So a calf, they will stay with their mother for 6 months, and they'll drink as much milk as they want. And then after 6 months, they start to fully rely on solid food, so grass and spinach and all the greens and things like that. So when they're ready to kind of a bit like human babies, so when they're ready to just eat, and that's when they slowly start to separate them from the mom and introduce them to the rest of the herd. And that's very important to do, because they will then find their place in the herd, they'll make friends, and they make lifelong friendships. They will, so you'll see like two of them, like two boys that have always been like kind of friends from a young age. They'll always stay friends, and they have enemies, and they all have personalities and everything like that. And then if it's a female, then they'll go in. We have a bull. His name is Harry. Harry is not Harry like Prince Harry, but Harry.
Hari.
Yes.
Krishna's name.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Krishna. And he's not a brahmachari at all, or a sannyasi. His job is to have lots of girlfriends and lots of cows, and so yeah, and so cows live for cows live for about 20 years. Okay, cows for 20 years. How many calves do you think they have in their whole life? How many calves do you think? How many babies cows have in their whole life? One. Good number. Any other guesses?
6,000.
6,000.
One cow has 6,000 calves.
He's very
15.
15. Okay.
15 calves, yeah, wow.
Yeah. Anybody else? One more guess.
10.
10. Who said 10?
Hemlata
Who
Sandrio.
said 10? Okay. So they have 2 to 3 calves in 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. And they retire. Okay. So in 15 years, they have 2-3 calves, 2-3 babies. So every few years, basically, they have a baby, which is very nice and natural for them. Stop pressure on them. And the boys become oxen. So in the Bhagavadgita, the phrase Krishi Goraksha. So Krishi being agriculture and Goraksha cow protection. So Krishna protects cows, Goraksha.
Which is why in Bengali, for those who know Bengali, Krishok
Krishok, yeah.
means the country people
Ah,
coming from the countryside. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And Balaram always has a plow in his hand. So he's protecting the oxen through agriculture. Because if you give a meaningful occupation, a job, an employment to the oxen, to the bulls, then you're protecting them. Because otherwise, what would you do? Let's say Harrow wanted to go vegetarian, and so let's say the council decided that we're going to go vegetarian as a whole borough. How would you do it? Because half the population of cattle are male. So the cows, they have a return, economic return, they have milk, so we are more likely to protect them. But then the bulls, half the population of the cattle, they don't have any economic return. But if you give them a job in agriculture, so at the farm, at the manor, they have a job. They pull the ox carts that you've beautifully painted and designed, so children can sit on it from school programs and stuff like that. Then they can pull the plow. So every time we're using them, we're not using the tractor. The tractor, we put fuel in it, which has a lot of emissions. So we are offsetting the cattle, the oxen are offsetting their own emission every time you're using them. Okay, so I'll tell you what happens in the industry very quickly.
So that was the example of how cows should be looked after, in Krishna conscious culture,
yes,
and how they're doing it at the manor.
Yeah.
So now he's going to tell you about how cows are being treated in the modern industry out there. Before you do that, I just want to share one thing. because actually Prabhu touched on quite a few things here. This Bhagavad Gita is a very practical book. It's spiritual, and it's also a lifestyle re-engineering book. And one of the things Krishna talks about a lot is Varnashram, which is a social system by which you can live in harmony with the world to get the best possible harmony for ourselves and the nature around us. And that means self-control. For example, he mentioned how in the Vedic system, you know, you can have a lot of technology, but technology, just using it randomly is not progress. It's about using it responsibly. So, you know, like nowadays, it's about profit mentality. It's about what I can do to beat my competitors. And I bring out a technology to get more profit, beat my competitors. And if that technology can then do the work of my workers, great. And then I chuck the workers away. That leads to rising unemployment, leading to crime, which then leads to immigration, which leads to all sorts of issues in society. Whereas in the olden days, the job of, let's say, a businessman who follows Krishna consciousness is not just profit. Am I keeping the people under my care engaged so they can practice the spiritual life properly? Right? And that includes not just the people, human people, but the animals as well. Because yes, I can get a tractor and do the work of like 10 bulls, 10 oxen. That means those oxen will end up getting slaughtered. Where does the karma for that go? That goes on you if you decide to do that. So the Vedic culture means you're taking an interdisciplinary approach to the actions you're doing. Business is not just about financial profit. It's about also the moral, ethical values that you also develop in society, which is, I'm very sad to say this, is sorely lacking in modern society now. You know, anyway, over to you.
Yeah, so oxen especially, they, and there are so many ways to, you know, even if you're not going to kind of pre-industrial times, you know, so sometimes we've got the tractor and the oxen both running, both doing work. So all the oxen are occupied, they have an employment, and we've got the tractor running too if we need to do things faster. So they're both going at the same time. Also with cows, so after 6 months, that after the calf has started eating solid food completely and doesn't need milk anymore, the cows carry on giving milk for another 2-3 years. So someone might say, "Oh, you're taking the milk away from the calf." You know, that's cruel. But we're not doing that. The calf drinks as much as they want. While the calf is drinking milk, the mother is producing 2-3 times more milk. So we only milk the excess. And after the calf has stopped drinking milk and is eating grass and carrots and things like that, then the cow carries on giving milk for another 2-3 years. And then she'll get pregnant again, and then she'll give milk again like that, until they retire at 15. So we're not taking the milk away from the mom, we're taking the excess milk. So what happens in the industry, very quickly, it's not very nice. So when a calf is born, they're impregnated artificially at the age of 1. So first time that we put the cows with the bull in the manor is at the age of 3. Obviously they age a lot faster than us, so you have to times it by 5. So a 20-year-old cow is a 100-year-old in our years, like that, a 100-year-old human. Okay, so they put them in with they artificially kind of make them pregnant at the age of 1, and then the cows usually go for slaughter at the age of 5 to 7. So at the fraction of their lifespan, you know, they don't get to experience all day. So a cow that goes for slaughter at the age of 5, they're 25-year-old in human years, in our years. So prime of the youth, they go to slaughter. And so for 5 years, they get pregnant every year. So if they're 5 and they go for slaughter, they would have had around 4 to 5 babies. So do you know how long is their pregnancy? 9 months. 9 months. Anyone else? 12. Okay. So 6. So it's correct. It's same as humans. Their
Right.
pregnancy is 9 months, which I'm sure Krishna was like, yeah, because they're our mothers. So it's the same as humans. Quite rare because they're quite large animals. You'd think it'd be longer. So yeah, they are pregnant for 9 months. Then they're giving milk. Then pregnant for 9 months, giving milk for 5 years. And then when they go for slaughter, they become what you call low quality meat because they're older. They've been giving milk. Some breeds, they go for slaughter at the age of 7. So they will have had 6 to 7 babies by that time. And they become cheap meat. So mince meat, McDonald's, burgers, things like that. So they're dairy cows that gave milk. And then what happens to the bulls? So as soon as they're born, they're also taken away from their mom. So they don't get to drink their mom's milk, whether they're female or male. They'll be put on artificial milk because they can sell that milk. And so if it's a bull, they will keep them for 2 years and they will bulk them up. So a 2-year-old calf is a 10-year-old like human child. You times it by 5. So they're very young. They keep them for 2 years, bulk them up, and then they become what you call a beef herd. So they're high quality meat because they're younger, and that's where you get steaks and those kind of more expensive cuts. A small percentage, maybe about 5% of the male calves, they become veal. So that's at the age of 6 months, they go for slaughter because they have like more tender meat, they're basically baby meat. So that's the alternative to not using them as oxen, not giving them an employment. The society will end up killing them. And we see that happening everywhere. This is not something that just happens in the UK or in the US or Australia or Middle East. This happens in India also. So all the cows, India, sadly, is the third biggest exporter of beef. So first is America, then is New Zealand and Australia, and the third biggest one is India. Because yes, they're not killed on Indian soil, but they are killed at the border. So they're all exported out of India, and that's where they're slaughtered. So it doesn't matter whether they're killed on Indian soil or on a different soil, they are being killed. So to say that, you're banning killing of the cows in India, there is no. You might as well kill them in India. What's the difference? It's the same arbitrary borders, maybe the British draw or whatever it is. But we need to work on more people becoming vegetarian, more people becoming aware of not killing cows. And not just cows, but any animals, whether it's fish or chicken or... I remember when I first went to India, I was
basically
really...
need to stop the export.
Yes. Yeah.
They'll get killed in another country.
They'll get, yes, exactly, yeah.
So you have to stop the export.
Yes, exactly. Or educate more people to become vegetarian. Make everyone a devotee.
Yeah.
That's also a solution. Yeah, so all animals. Also, I was very shocked when I went to India first. I thought I was very naive. It was like my early years in Christian consciousness. I thought if someone is like a Hindu, they'll be vegetarian. But I got that mistaken by they didn't eat beef. And then I went to India that everyone was eating like goats and chicken and fish, and I was very surprised. But then I realized like it's this not everyone practices it. Like some Muslims eat pork, even though they're not meant to.
That's wrong.
It is. That's what they do.
So I'm just listening to you, just thinking that in this modern world, the people that are doing business, how the business will survive if we want to go back, like your competitors are using those, and you will die away.
Yeah. It's difficult. So there is education is the only way. I mean, we have Ahimsa Foundation, Ahimsa Dairy Foundation in Leicester, run by Sitaram Prabhu, who's from the manor. and he has a huge waiting list, even though the milk is a lot more expensive. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So milk you buy in the shop is like cheaper than water.
Yeah.
Which is doesn't make sense. It's a whole cow's life. But yeah, there is a big waiting list because there's so many people who want to pay that
Extra money.
premium. Yeah.
I saw a program, then how I saw that how they get the milk is very
It's
sad.
not very good. Yeah.
They are in a cage
Yes.
and
Yeah.
struggle.
Yes,
That's
yes.
not real proper milk.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. We obviously have the understanding that we like Niskincana was saying, even plants have
Like-
a soul. Even a tree has a soul, an atma inside. So we offer that to Krishna. So Krishna takes away the karma, so it becomes prasadam. And we do the same with dairy, with milk. But we need to also be aware to the only way we can go to become more ahimsa, like consume more ahimsa milk, the only way we can supply that milk is for us to also reduce the amount of dairy we drink and we have. Because the only way we can have a lot of dairy, we can't have that much dairy if it's we can't drink the amount of dairy that we drink at the moment, and also look for ahimsa, if that makes sense. So we can't ahimsa. The ahimsa kind of system can never produce enough milk for the amount of milk we drink. So we need to reduce the amount we drink, so we can then have dairy as a luxury, as something that we really honor, and like this is come from mother cow. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
But if we kill less cows, then there'll be more cows to give milk, no?
So basically, we need to shut down the. But that's a long game. That's the long shot.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
long
long
view.
term.
I mean, if I may also just share on that, like the suffering